The Cavern of Crystalline Echoes. With the Staff of Echoes now in their possession, Tobian and Nivara ventured beyond the Forest of Echoes, guided by the whispers of ancient knowledge that resonated within the staff. Their journey led them to a vast mountain range where legends spoke of a hidden cavern filled with crystals that could amplify magic and reflect the deepest secrets of the earth. This mountain range is known as the spine of the world, Tobian explained as they climbed higher. It's said that within its depths lies a cavern where the earth's magic is most concentrated, where crystals grow that can resonate with any form of magic. Nivara, still attuned to the forest's energy, felt the shift in the magic around them as they approached the entrance to the cavern. The magic here is different, more intense. To navigate the Cavern of Crystalline Echoes, I'll need to transform again. She found a ledge overlooking the entrance to the cavern, where the wind howled through the narrow passages of the mountain. Closing her eyes, Nivara began her transformation. Her hair turned a deep, crystalline blue, shimmering like the light reflecting off clear water. Her eyes became a brilliant, sparkling turquoise, filled with the clarity of gemstones. Her skin took on a smooth, pale glow, with veins of silver running through it, as if she were carved from the finest marble. Her gown transformed into a flowing robe of translucent crystal, adorned with sparkling facets that caught the light and reflected it in all directions. Nivara had become the spirit of the crystalline echoes. Tobian watched, captivated by her new form. You look like you've been sculpted from the very crystals we seek. This form will guide us through the cavern. They entered the cavern, the entrance concealed by a large outcropping of rock that had been worn smooth by time. Inside, the air was cool and still, and the walls of the cavern glittered with thousands of crystals in every imaginable color. The light from the crystals illuminated the cavern, casting rainbow reflections across the stone floor. The magic here is concentrated in these crystals, Nivara said, her voice echoing softly in the chamber. Each one holds a piece of the earth's memory. As they ventured deeper into the cavern, they encountered massive crystals growing out of the walls and floor, some as tall as trees. The Staff of Echoes began to hum softly, resonating with the crystals around them, as if in conversation. The staff is reacting to the crystals, Tobian observed, holding it out toward a particularly large cluster. It's as if they are communicating with each other. Nivara approached the cluster, her crystalline form shimmering in the light. These crystals hold ancient magic, but they are also protective. We must be careful. As they continued through the cavern, the crystals grew larger and more intricate, forming elaborate patterns that seemed to shift and change as they moved. The air grew thick with magic, and the echoes of their footsteps reverberated through the chambers, creating an eerie, melodic symphony. This place is a labyrinth, Tobian said, glancing around at the twisting passages. We could easily get lost if we are not careful. Nivara nodded, her senses attuned to the magic around them. The crystals are guiding us, but we must follow the right path. They followed the resonating hum of the Staff of Echoes, which led them deeper into the heart of the cavern. Finally, they reached a large chamber filled with towering crystal spires that pulsed with a soft, inner light. In the center of the chamber was a massive, glowing crystal, unlike any they had seen before. It was perfectly clear, with an ethereal glow that seemed to come from within its very core. This is the heart of the cavern, Tobian said, his voice filled with awe. The source of the cavern's magic. Nivara approached the crystal, her form reflecting in its flawless surface. The heart holds the purest magic of the earth, and it's connected to all the crystals in the cavern. But there's something more here, something hidden within. As she reached out to touch the crystal, the Staff of Echoes began to vibrate intensely, and the light within the heart of the cavern grew brighter. Suddenly, the crystal surface shimmered, revealing a hidden chamber within it, a chamber that seemed to exist in another realm, filled with swirling energy and glowing symbols. This chamber is a gateway, Nivara realized, her eyes wide with wonder. A connection to the Earth's deepest magic. Tobian stepped forward, his gaze fixed on the hidden chamber. If we can enter it, we may uncover the most ancient secrets of the Earth, knowledge that has been buried for eons. Nivara nodded, her crystalline form glowing brighter as she prepared to enter the chamber. This is our next step. Whatever lies within this gateway could change everything we know about magic. With the Staff of Echoes guiding them, Nivara and Tobian stepped into the hidden chamber, passing through the crystal as if it were made of water. Inside, they found themselves in a vast, glowing space filled with floating crystals and swirling energy. The air hummed with power, and the symbols on the walls glowed with a deep, ancient magic. This place is a nexus, Tobian said, his voice filled with awe. A point where all the Earth's magic converges. Nivara moved forward, her eyes fixed on a central pedestal that held a small, intricately carved stone. The stone was covered in symbols that glowed with a soft, warm light, and as she reached out to touch it, the entire chamber resonated with a powerful energy. This stone holds the key to the Earth's secrets, Nivara said, her voice reverent. With it, we can unlock the full potential of the magic we've discovered. As she took the stone, the chamber around them began to glow brighter, the energy within it intensifying. The symbols on the walls shifted and changed, revealing new patterns and messages, as if the very essence of the Earth was speaking to them. The journey ahead will be even more challenging, Tobian said, his eyes reflecting the glowing symbols. But with this stone, we have the knowledge and power to face whatever comes next. Nivara nodded, her crystalline form glowing with the energy of the chamber. We've uncovered a great secret here, but there's still more to discover. The Earth's magic is vast and deep, and we've only just begun to understand it. With the stone in hand and the Staff of Echoes by their side, Tobian and Nivara left the hidden chamber, emerging back into the cavern. The crystals around them hummed softly, as if acknowledging the ancient knowledge they now carried. As they stepped out of the cavern of crystalline echoes and back into the light of day, they knew their journey was far from over. The Earth's magic had many more secrets to reveal, and they were ready to uncover them together. The realm of eternal twilight. With the mystical stone from the cavern of crystalline echoes safely secured, Tobian and Nivara found themselves pondering their next destination. The artifacts they had gathered resonated with each other, creating a harmonious symphony of magic that pointed them toward a new, mysterious realm. As they journeyed across varied landscapes, the sky above began to transform. The vibrant blues of day and the deep blacks of night melded into a perpetual state of dusk. Soft purples, pinks, and oranges painted the horizon, and stars twinkled faintly against the backdrop of an eternal sunset. This must be the realm of eternal twilight, Tobian mused, gazing up at the mesmerizing sky. I've read legends about this place. Time stands still here, and powerful magic lies hidden within its shadows and light. Nivara looked around, her eyes reflecting the enchanting hues of the sky. To navigate this realm and understand its magic, I need to become one with it. She stepped into a clearing where the twilight's glow bathed her in its ethereal light. Closing her eyes, Nivara began her transformation. Her hair flowed into a cascade of shimmering umber hues, blending seamlessly from deep indigo at the roots to fiery orange at the tips, mirroring the eternal sunset above. Her eyes transformed into a luminescent violet, holding the mystery of dusk within them. Her skin took on a soft, pearlescent sheen, as if kissed by the last light of day. Her attire morphed into a flowing gown that seemed woven from twilight itself, adorned with tiny sparkling stars and intricate patterns that shifted between shadows and light. Nivara had become the spirit of twilight. Tobian watched, captivated by her transformation. You embody the essence of this realm perfectly. I have no doubt we'll uncover the secrets hidden here with your guidance. Nivara smiled softly, her voice carrying a melodic, otherworldly quality. Let's explore and see what wonders await us in this timeless place. As they ventured deeper into the realm, the landscape around them was a blend of contrasts. Trees with dark, twisted trunks bore leaves that glowed softly, illuminating their path. Creatures unlike any they had seen before darted between the shadows and light, ethereal beings that seemed to exist only in the space between day and night. They soon came across a serene lake that mirrored the perpetual twilight sky, its surface so still it appeared as a flawless, polished mirror. In the center of the lake stood an elegant gazebo constructed from intertwining branches and glowing crystals, emanating a gentle, inviting light. This place feels significant, Tobian observed, his gaze fixed on the gazebo. I sense powerful magic emanating from there. Nivara nodded, her violet eyes scanning the surroundings. The artifacts are responding as well. Perhaps the next piece of our journey lies within. A narrow, ornate bridge arched gracefully over the water, leading directly to the gazebo. As they stepped onto the bridge, ripples of light spread across the lake's surface, and soft, harmonious music filled the air, as if the realm itself was welcoming them. Upon reaching the gazebo, they found a beautifully crafted pedestal at its center, upon which rested an exquisite hourglass. Unlike ordinary hourglasses, this one contained shimmering, luminescent sand that flowed neither up nor down but seemed suspended in perpetual motion. Tobian approached cautiously, examining the artifact. This must be the hourglass of equilibrium. Legends say it has the power to balance opposing forces and control the flow of time itself. Nivara reached out, her fingers hovering just above the hourglass. It's magnificent. But I sense that obtaining it won't be simple. As if in response to her words, the tranquil atmosphere shifted. The gentle music turned discordant, and shadows around the lake grew darker, coalescing into ominous shapes. From these shadows emerged beings composed of pure darkness, their forms fluid and ever-changing, eyes glowing with a cold, piercing light. Tobian quickly readied his sketchbook and magical paints, while Nivara's form glowed brighter, the twilight energies gathering around her. One of the shadow beings stepped forward, its voice echoing with a chilling resonance. The hourglass of equilibrium is not for the taking. Only those who can prove their understanding of balance may claim it. Nivara met the creature's gaze steadily. We seek the hourglass not for power, but to restore and maintain balance in worlds touched by chaos. We are prepared to prove our worth. The shadow being regarded them silently before the surroundings transformed. The gazebo and lake faded away, replaced by a vast, open space where platforms of light and shadow floated in midair. In the center hovered the hourglass, now encased within a sphere of shifting energies. Tobian and Nivara found themselves standing on separate platforms, distant from each other yet connected by a series of alternating light and dark stepping stones. The voice echoed again. To obtain the hourglass, you must traverse this field together, maintaining perfect balance between light and shadow. A misstep will reset your progress. Understanding the challenge, Tobian and Nivara locked eyes. They needed to move in harmony, each step carefully coordinated. Nivara began, stepping onto a platform of light, which glowed brighter under her foot. Simultaneously, Tobian stepped onto a platform of shadow, its darkness pulsing gently. They continued this pattern, moving in sync, light and shadow, day and night, each balancing the other. As they progressed, the platforms began to shift and move, testing their coordination and trust. At times, obstacles emerged, bursts of chaotic energy that threatened to throw them off balance. Together, they used their combined skills. Nivara harnessed the twilight energies to calm the chaos, while Tobian used his magical artistry to create bridges and shields, ensuring their path remained steady. After a series of intricate movements and close calls, they finally reached the central platform where the hourglass awaited. As they stepped onto it together, a brilliant flash of light enveloped the area, and the shadow beings reappeared, now observing with what seemed like approval. The lead shadow spoke once more, its tone softened. "You have demonstrated true understanding and respect for balance. The hourglass of equilibrium is yours to wield. May it aid you in restoring harmony wherever you go." Nivara gently took the hourglass into her hands. The suspended sands within began to flow smoothly, emitting a harmonious glow that resonated with all the artifacts they had collected thus far. A sense of peace and completeness washed over them. The surroundings shifted again, returning them to the serene lake and gazebo. The shadow beings dissolved back into the twilight, leaving behind an atmosphere of tranquility. Tobian looked at Nivara, his eyes shining with excitement. "With the hourglass, our ability to balance and harmonize the various magics we've encountered will be unparalleled. This will open doors to realms and possibilities we've yet to imagine." Nivara smiled warmly, the colors of the eternal sunset dancing in her eyes. "Our journey continues to unfold in amazing ways. I can't wait to see where this newfound power will lead us next." As they departed from the realm of eternal twilight, the sky seemed to shimmer in farewell, and the path ahead glowed with anticipation of new adventures. The Island of Shifting Sands. With the hourglass of equilibrium now part of their collection, Tobian and Nivara were eager to see where their journey would lead them next. As they made their way through a dense, misty forest, the path beneath their feet gradually turned from soft earth to fine, warm sand. The mist began to dissipate, revealing the edge of a vast, shimmering desert that seemed to stretch endlessly in every direction. "This isn't just any desert," Tobian remarked, his eyes scanning the horizon. "I can feel the magic in the air. The sands here are alive, constantly shifting, like a sea of golden waves." Nivara nodded, the twilight hues of her previous transformation still lingering in her hair. "This place feels like it's in a constant state of flux, like the sands are guiding us somewhere." Tobian reached into his satchel and pulled out the map that had been steadily filling itself with new locations as they progressed. "According to this, we've entered the Island of Shifting Sands. Legends speak of a hidden treasure here, guarded by the ever-changing dunes and the ancient spirits of the desert." Nivara closed her eyes, attuning herself to the energies of the desert. As she did, the twilight glow around her began to fade, replaced by the warm, golden hues of the desert sands. Her hair shifted into a cascade of soft, sun-kissed gold, and her eyes took on the color of amber, gleaming like the sun itself. Her skin became a deep, rich tan, and her attire transformed into a flowing, lightweight robe that shimmered like desert heat. Nivara had become the spirit of the desert sands. Tobian smiled, admiring her new form. "You truly are a part of every place we visit. I'm sure your connection to the sands will lead us to the heart of this island." Nivara nodded, a soft breeze stirring the sand at her feet. "Let's see where the desert wants to take us." They began their trek across the shifting sands, each step feeling like it was guided by an unseen force. The sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden glow over the endless dunes. As they walked, the sands shifted beneath them, sometimes forming smooth paths, other times creating obstacles that required careful navigation. After what felt like hours, they reached a towering dune that seemed different from the others. At its peak, a large, ancient obelisk stood, covered in intricate carvings that gleamed in the sunlight. The symbols seemed to tell a story, one that Tobian and Nivara knew they needed to decipher. Tobian approached the obelisk, carefully examining the carvings. These symbols speak of a great guardian, a spirit that watches over the treasures hidden within the heart of the island. But it seems that the way to the treasure is ever-changing, just like the sands themselves. Nivara placed her hand on the obelisk, feeling the warmth of the stone. I can sense the spirit's presence. It's testing us, seeing if we can find our way through the shifting sands to reach its sanctuary. As they stood before the obelisk, the sands around them began to shift more rapidly, forming a swirling vortex that quickly rose into the sky. From within the vortex, a massive figure emerged, a spirit made entirely of sand, with eyes like burning embers and a presence that commanded respect. I am the guardian of the shifting sands, the spirit boomed, its voice like the whisper of the wind through the dunes. Those who seek the treasures of this island must prove their worth by navigating the ever-changing paths of the desert. Tobian and Nivara exchanged a determined glance. They had faced many challenges on their journey, and they were ready for whatever test the Guardian had in store. The sands will guide you, the Guardian continued. But they will also deceive you. Only those who can see through the illusions and find the true path will reach the heart of the island. With a final gust of wind, the Guardian dispersed, leaving behind a maze of sand dunes that stretched out before them. The path ahead was unclear, with each dune seeming to shift and change with every passing moment. Nivara, now fully in tune with the desert, closed her eyes and let the sands guide her. We need to trust our instincts, Tobian. The path is there, hidden within the shifting sands. We just need to find it. Tobian nodded, readying his sketchbook and magical paints. I'll create markers as we go, to help us keep track of where we've been. Together, we'll find our way through. They set off into the maze, Nivara leading the way as she listened to the whispers of the sand. Tobian followed closely, using his magic to paint symbols on the dunes, creating a trail that would help them navigate the ever-changing landscape. As they progressed, the maze threw various challenges at them. Sandstorms whipped through the air, obscuring their vision and forcing them to rely on their other senses. Illusions appeared, making it difficult to distinguish between the real path and false trails. But through it all, Nivara's connection to the desert and Tobian's quick thinking kept them on course. Finally, after what felt like an endless journey, they reached the center of the maze. Before them stood a magnificent temple, half buried in the sand, its entrance guarded by two massive statues of ancient desert spirits. We made it, Tobian said, his voice filled with awe. This must be where the treasure is hidden. Nivara smiled, her golden eyes reflecting the light of the sun. The sands led us true. Let's see what awaits us inside. They entered the temple, the air inside cool and still. As they ventured deeper, they came upon a grand chamber, at the center of which stood a pedestal holding a large, intricately carved stone. The stone pulsed with a soft, golden light, filling the chamber with a warm, comforting glow. This is it, Tobian whispered, approaching the stone. The heart of the shifting sands. It contains the power to control the sands of the desert, to shape and mold them as one sees fit. Nivara placed her hand on the stone, feeling its ancient power resonate with her own. With this, we can navigate any desert, no matter how treacherous. The sands will always guide us." As they took the stone, the temple began to tremble, the sands outside shifting and swirling once more. But this time, instead of feeling chaotic, the sands moved with purpose, creating a clear path back to the edge of the island. The guardian of the shifting sands appeared before them once more as they exited the temple. "You have proven yourselves worthy. The heart of the shifting sands is yours. May it guide you on your journey." With a final bow, the guardian dissolved into the sands, leaving Tobian and Nivara standing at the edge of the island, the heart of the shifting sands safely in their possession. As they looked out over the desert, the sands beneath them began to shift again, this time forming a bridge that led back to the forest from which they had come. "Another incredible adventure," Tobian said, a smile on his face. "And another powerful artifact to help us on our journey." Nivara, still in her desert form, looked out over the endless dunes, a sense of peace in her heart. "The desert will always be a part of me now. And with the heart of the shifting sands, we can navigate any terrain, no matter how challenging." They crossed the bridge back to the forest, ready for whatever new adventures awaited them next.